Miss Transformers 96 here with another review. This time it is of the Marvel Universe Rhino. This is the second version. I mean, it's the first version for Marvel Universe, but it's the second version for a 3 3/4 inch Rhino. And so yeah. So as you can see, looks really cool. I thought I'd start him out with a pose. I am absolutely loving this figure. I think that he looks great with poses, so that's why I'm starting this off with a pose. So yeah, I bought this figure loose. That's why I don't have the box. It's just I really did not want to try to hunt for him because I was so excited to get this one and Mysterio, and I really did not want to go, and try to find them and really have no luck. So that's why I just decided to purchase them on eBay loose. I do really want to get a second one of each of them to keep mint though, so I'll look for those. But yeah, I definitely wanted to get them as soon as possible while it was easy to. So yeah. So overall, here's Rhino. So just to go over like the paint's great. Of course, it's gray with it's dark gray with light gray highlights throughout it. Really looks great, very rhino-ish skin. The sculpting is beautiful. I love all the scoring marks throughout the body and all the little bumps and everything. The detail is incredible. If I'm not mistaken, this is 100% a unique mold. I do not see one thing that has been even kind of reused in this figure, which is just really great and really spectacular. Something that you don't see all the time. You've got the rhino feet, of course, very unique to him. His head sculpt looks great. I love his angry face, with the horn and everything. And I love the big back, how it's almost like a hunchback, but it's just like the huge back. I think that it just looks so awesome. So many cool poses you can do with him, and he is just so bulky, and it's just a perfect representation of Rhino, kind of like a scaled down version of the Diamond Select Rhino. Here he is with him. I mean, basically the same thing, but this one has more articulation, and, the paint's a little bit different between the two, but same type of design, same, like, look and everything. Of course, their toes are painted differently, which I think is interesting. I don't know which one's more accurate. I think that the Diamond Select one's more accurate, but I really do like the Marvel Universe one. I don't think that there's any problem with how they did his toes, his rhino toes. So, yeah. Overall, super cool. Love the sculpt, and I love the paint. Not, one thing I can say bad. Next, he's got a ball jointed head, which is pretty cool. Not a huge amount of not a huge amount of motion, but he can look down, he can look up slightly, and then he can move side to side. But it is on such, just a little ball joint. So if you want, you can actually stretch it up and almost like pop it off. I mean, you can just pop it off and then just put it on slightly, and then he'll be able to look up and go sideways and stuff. So it is very easy to manipulate the joint there. You've got ball hinge shoulders, hinge swivel elbows, which is great. Typically these big figures have bicep swivels, and because their biceps are so big, you have to have their arms out to move them. You can't have them like this. Yeah, you can't do this like all the way to the side. That just looks so good, and I'm so glad that they did the swivel on the elbow instead of the bicep. You've got swivel wrist, ball joint upper torso, which is a really nice ball joint too. You've got hinge swivel knees, thighs with hinge swivel knees, and then you've got hinge. Sorry about that, just ran out of space, but like I was saying, that he has the pivoting ankles so that you can have his legs spread out as far as you want and still have the feet flush on the floor. One of the best articulated bulky figures that there is, and one of the best bulky figures that there is from Marvel Universe. I mean, it's just great. I'd even say one of their best figures that they've ever done. It's just perfection in the sculpt, perfection in the paint, perfection in the articulation. It's a beautiful figure, highly recommended by me. This is an absolute must-have. I was looking more forward to Mysterio, and I still kind of like Mysterio more just because I'm a bigger fan of Mysterio. But I love Rhino, and this figure is a fantastic representation of Rhino and just is so perfect. Such an improvement to this figure. This was a cool figure. I mean, it was quite bulky, and it had an interesting look, but it certainly wasn't the classic version of Rhino. It was more of the ultimate version, which is still cool. I mean, hey, that's what they decided to do. Articulation was a lot less, nothing in the waist. They had a head articulation, no knees, stuff like that, and no ankles, so it was hindered articulation. This, we've got a full articulated classic version of Rhino, which I think people will just prefer more. I certainly do, and I think that that this is just a gem of a figure. So glad to get it, and I'll be very interested to see if the next wave's Abomination can rival this guy. Here he is with another big figure, another fantastic one, Hulk. Sometimes Rhino is mainly a Spider-Man villain, but sometimes he will fight Hulk. So I think that they look really great together. They have the same type of look with all the scoring in them. It just looks so cool, both of them together. It's just really great. Next, another character from this wave, as well as another character from Spider-Man. You've got Mysterio here. They look great. Sometimes they were in the Sinister Six together. Mysterio is a core member of the Sinister Six. Rhino has been in some versions of the Sinister Six, so they have fought side by side a few times, but not generally they do, but hey, they still do. So yeah. So overall, this is an absolute fantastic figure. A must-have for any big Marvel Universe fan, or just Spider-Man fan. I just highly recommend it by me. I love Rhino and I love Marvel Universe, and this was a perfect combination of the two. Just excellent. Could have not asked for anything more, and I honestly mean that. They just did it perfection. I can't say anything that I don't like about this figure. There you go. One of my most highly rated figures, I'd say, from Marvel Universe. It's perfection, and it's just perfection at its finest, I think. So there you go. So that's my review of the Marvel Universe Rhino. Highly recommended by me.